In Antarctica, this is a catastrophe. Filmmaker and novelist Jill Heinrich has collaborated with PBS, National Geographic, and the BBC. West Hills, Jill Heinrich, and Paul Henri would all go on a once-in-a-lifetime journey. The accident that claimed the lives of 3 companions in Antarctica is described in the video you're about to see. Antarctica, with an enormous B-15 iceberg in this area. It is considerably smaller than Jamaica and is one of the biggest icebergs in the world. Before the iceberg disintegrates into the Atlantic Ocean, Jo and her colleagues made the bold decision to ignore all safety precautions and become the first people to cave dig inside an iceberg. The B-15 iceberg is one of the biggest icebergs in the world. Wes and Jill became the first people to cave dive inside an iceberg. Jesus Zoo started to absorb a lot of Arctic water, which alarmed Jill. The videographer dove into the sea to get some amazing shots as they steered their boat into the iceberg bay. His outfit appeared like a garbage bag filled with water after a short while. He had to be quickly removed, undressed, and placed in a bunk bed full of people, blankets, and warm clothes. Jill is one of the best cave divers in the world, and while she trusts her equipment in below freezing conditions, she didn't trust this new environment when they plunged into the iceberg. As Jill and Paul Heinrich dived into the Antarctic ocean floor, they observed live creatures covering the bottom and ice sculptures. Spider-like lobster monsters were unleashed from the cracks above. Jill claimed that hundreds if not thousands were dropping like nightmare fuel, but that they were being ignored. A sudden ice cream headache was reportedly brought on by just jumping into the Arctic Sea. She experienced a violent trembling from head to toe. Everything went horrifically wrong as they turned around to exit through the same door they had entered. The enormous iceberg closed, only a trapping entryway, when Jill, a skilled cave diver, realized they were 130 feet under the Antarctic Sea. Stranded on an iceberg with no oxygen and in danger of freezing to death, she panicked, drowning. Huge chunks of ice were utilized by Jill and Paul to get closer to the iceberg's next hole. They had to stop just about 20 feet below the surface to prevent decompression sickness. Every time that they came back, Wes and Matt, the first mate, exclaimed with joy and high-fived. They could see and hear the boat trembling as it nearly capsized, waiting because the boat couldn't be saved. They plunged again with a steady entry the next morning, feeling motivated to travel in directions no one had gone before. Okay, they soon dove down and started collecting marine creatures. Jill regretted feeling the strengthening now, accepting the flow and transforming still water into an untamed ocean. Jill attempted to bury her hands in the sand on the seabed. They watch as she cartwheels against their best efforts as they turn back toward the door, forcing her body over her hands to move with the water. It was terrible when the tide slammed them against the iceberg since they weren't moving. They observed the tunnel's blue light. The group was leaving. The optical effects of an iceberg making it impossible to determine the distance of the blue light. Simply go with the flow. The two drifted in a circle as a result, but the blue light guided them to an additional ice exit. Jill left the boat behind. Her view of the boat was obscured as she swam close to one of the great ice barriers she had ever seen. For the first time throughout the journey, Jill's heart felt like a net around the globe as it descended into the pit of her stomach. For the first time, she felt hopeless and that they might die. They were followed by the boat's anchor. Jill became chilly after 15 to 30 minutes of boat searching. When retrieving an anchor, "Lucky boat, it moved," Jill yelled. "Voila, is Jill there?" Wes used to shout. After that, Jill and Paul were slowly saved by the boat. Unfortunately, the team decided to take their third and last dive on the third day, but Wes decided to accompany them because of his co-workers' photos. Jill realized the tide was coming in like yesterday. Paul's group was headed by Jill, while Les lagged. Paul turned to assist Wes as he requested aid with the camera. The one person who comprehends, Jill, is enraged. They are fortunate enough to regain control of the camera and keep moving. Climbing was challenging on ice walls. Fortunately, Jill recalled that icefish like hiding in these ice sheet holes the size of a thumb. If she caught one, she was confident she could climb out. The first mate was informed by her as she made her way back to the boat that neither nature nor cave had attempted to retain them today. Wes, Paul, and Jill had an insatiable need to go diving once more. The crew, including Jill, gazed in fear as someone screamed off the boat toward the iceberg as they were getting ready and eating a short dinner. They saw their caves sink into the water. Jill and her teammates are genuine sports pioneers, and they deserve recognition for having the courage to go where no man has gone before. If they were still inside or came back, they would be murdered. Keep in mind that the first people to explore the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans were mad, but without them, we wouldn't have what we have today. Well, that brings us to the end of our video. Share your thoughts on this crazy adventure in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. For more amazing videos like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more cave diving related videos. Also, don't forget to press that bell icon. We'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.